So we're here at Patrick Malley's orchard in Maungatapere in Whangarei. The Malleys have been working with Quiedan Tunnels for what? How many years now, Patrick?
Well, since 2015 in the berry fruit, and then we put up some kiwi fruit tunnels back in 2013, I think, as well. So yeah, for too long, I think.
Plastic for quite a while. It hasn't got sick of plastic yet, but
no, not at all.
It's probably not too far away. So we've this area we're in here is basically 4 hectares roughly,
Yes,
just under 4
right.
hectares. They've gone for eureka berries under here, blueberries under here. Prior to that, it's close to 5 hectares of raspberries, right?
Yeah, raspberries, blackberries,
and a few other trial blocks.
And soulberries, which is an amber raspberry we've developed ourselves. Yeah,
cool. And so, probably a good thing for us is what made you choose Quiedan Tunnels to work with?
I mean, the list is long, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Realistically, we had the opportunity to work with you in kiwi fruit, which helped, and the ability to work with someone for a period of time and have that level of trust makes such a difference as a grower. We've seen your work elsewhere, and we've seen it stand the test of time, such as it is in this industry, because it's relatively new to New Zealand. But one of the main things is just your guys' dedication, consideration to help us along our journey. When we decided in November 2015 to jump into berry fruit, we had no idea what the hell we're doing, and we were new to building these sorts of tunnels. And you guys came up and spent the time with us and made sure we did it correctly. And for us as a grower, that's a massive help, certainly. And then it's been a journey from then. When we've got the tunnels like these, which have got gutters throughout them, and the first ones that we had just drops to an open swell drain, and it's been a real journey throughout that, and that's one of the cool things. But I suppose this past year has been not as smooth as everything else that we've done, because we hit the go button pretty late and we didn't get the stuff on time that we wanted, and you guys have just put the mahi in to make sure we can keep going, and that's the reason why we'll stay with that relationship.
Cool. And it's progressed, like we talked about the non-gutters we start with, the gutters. That was your guys' idea, and they're quite an expensive little exercise putting gutters, but been enabling to get another row in under your plants. The payback on that's pretty quick, It's a year or so?
Oh, yeah, easily. And you're adding 20% more production area, pays for itself immediately. But also, particularly with our soft berry fruit, the ability to take that water away from the environment and to take the disease and pest pressure that comes with it is uber important. It's also important in terms of how you're managing your people, because now this entire block is accessible in any weather. And then it's also really important for us in how we're managing our water, because Northland, you get a fair bit of rain, and these gutters do the job, but also for us, we can direct that water to where we want rather than just let it do what it wants. And hydroponics, that can be bloody important.
So with the gutters, you've got a percentage of the water going straight back into an aquifer, because it's basically going straight down that hole into scoria, which is feeding the
7 metre deep soak holes filled with scoria, and that goes into an aquifer that we did a test bore a little while ago that was 50 metres deep to figure out what we had there, and to ensure that we could put water in there safely, and then that water is available for our neighbours and other people in the district, because we don't actually draw from that at all. And in this new development that we've just done here, 2 hectares of it goes to a reservoir. So we put a reservoir in, and that's going to be part of our irrigation source. So we're also part of the Maungatapere water scheme, and that's an important part of our business. But we're going to supplement that with the water we've captured, the rainwater we've captured. And in addition to that, it also provides a little bit of risk diversification. So if the scheme fails, or if our water collection fails, there's still one backing the other up, and in hydroponics you can't afford to be without water.
Exactly. Just to go back a step, when we first came out here in the first block of blueberries, our limiting spec was 9 metres wide from our parent company back in America. That's the engineering we had. You guys pushed us to 10 metre tunnels. We were pretty uncomfortable, I must say, right at the beginning, because I've been through issues with tunnels that are too big, and the wind, obviously the bigger the tunnel, the more susceptible to wind. Thankfully, you guys decided to take the risk and you signed a waiver.
Yep, we did.
To take, so we didn't have to. We could feel a bit more comfortable
And
about
it's
things.
become easier and easier every year to sign that waiver.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing. So the first 2 hectares we did here were only 40mm tube on a 10-metre structure.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's why we were pretty nervous. The rest of the stuff is all 50mm tube, and the longer we've gone on, the more comfortable we've got with 50mm. We're now getting a lot more growers wanting to go out to the 10. They still have to sign the waiver because we still haven't got engineering specs to say that this is going to stand up to X.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys we got now are actually doing 10-metre tunnels under netting structures, which makes us even more comfortable.
Yep.
So, but I think when you look at the plant numbers, you're basically going from just over 4,000 plants a hectare to 5,000 non-gutted to 6,000 gutted, and 6,000 gutted compared to 4,000, that's about 11 tonne per hectare in rough numbers.
It adds up pretty quick.
It's big money. It's big money.
You're right, there is a risk in terms of the 10 metres. We've got those 14.5 metre wide cubic tunnels, so we had a bit of confidence in wide tunnels with you guys, and that gave us, a bit of heart going into doing this.
Yeah.
But, we're limited in the amount of land we have available, so we want to make sure we fill it up as much as possible with plants. And certainly, Dad's always trying to get an extra inch of canopy area as much as he can. Yeah. And so 10 metres seemed like a natural sort of thing to go to make sure we filled that space up.
Yeah.
And so we did it, we're happy, and we're going to keep on doing it until we ask you some other crazy question again in the future. I don't know what. And we're not looking back at all. But that's not to say that 8.5 isn't the right thing to go in certain circumstances. It really is, I think, horses for courses.
Yeah. Well, if you're a really exposed site, we'd be certainly nervous unless they were putting overhead. Any wider than 8.5 in some areas. So,
and we're going to have a site that's there's so much natural shout about here. 40, 50-year-old natural shout about here. Yeah. Plus adding in the artificial that we're putting in, that gives us a lot of confidence as a grower.
It's just insurance policies.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Patrick. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Cheers.